are with the Bolts. Let's get on out to Caldwell. The Yotes wrapping up spring football today with one last scrimmage.
Yeah, the deep ball on full display this morning. Cooper Bailey, first quarterback to strike. Look at that missile he sends to John Schofield. Somehow he comes down with that highlight reel catch. But it was a really competitive day. One of those plays where even the defense gave him props. They would finish the drive, another spectacular catch. Bailey targets the tight end. Will Hook comes down with it, somehow stays in bounds. At least the coaches called it inbounds. He might have, I don't know. I think they're giving the defense a hard time. They continued to shut down the run while the offense found a lot of success through the air. There's Andy Peters unleashing the long ball. That's Jackson Court-Level coming down with it. He shakes the man off en route to the end zone. One of a handful of explosive plays he had on the receiving end. Here's another Peters off play action. Court-Lever takes this one to the house as well. One of the guys, teammates and coaching staff agree, a young guy who's had a great spring camp. You can really see why. So no scoreboard in this one, but the Yotes finished off the day with 4 touchdowns, all but one of them coming through the air. And while the team seemed to lean on their ground game last year, it was the wide receiver core, very deep, holding the spotlight today.
We got a really good wide receiver class this year. I mean, we bring back a ton of wide receivers that we had last year that were big names, and we have freshman wide receivers that are insane. Jace Appleby and Jackson Court-Lever are 2 freshman wide receivers. I mean, we're facing some of the best wide receiver talent just on our own team, and it absolutely makes us 100% better.
We like where we are. That is a deep spot for us, but football's football, and there's injuries and there's nicks, so you need 7, 8 guys that can play at that receiver position. But I think we're on the way there.
You know, as you're saying, Brady, historically, the College of Idaho has been kind of a run-first offense, but with Andy Peters at the trigger, a plethora of weapons at wideout, it feels like you might see the College of Idaho chucking the rock maybe more than they have really maybe in the rest of the Mike Morosky era previously.
Yeah, you know, the Yotes didn't lose a lot of weapons total on offense, but the wide receiver core might be as strong as it's ever been. They're very excited with the guys, not only who are returning, but coming up to jump in there.
Yeah.
As we saw Jackson Court-Lever, a guy who just was all over the place.
Well, big congrats to Scott Matlock, J.L. Skinner. We'll have a full NFL draft recap tomorrow on Sunday Sports Extra. The news is back right after this.